Hikaru Nakamura won his game against Alireza Firouzja, and it was again some crazy game with a lot of crazy lines. What has happened there? We were just following it, even with an engine. We just so many lines that are just absolutely messy and difficult.
Yeah, I mean, all right. So the opening I think was pretty normal. I mean, c4, knight f6, c5. I mean, of course, dc4 is the other move, but I mean, all right. We get to this position where I think probably both of us had looked at this somewhat, but I mean, even here I wasn't really expecting this, so I had very briefly looked at it the other day. Yeah, I don't know if this idea of b6 was best, but it's very concrete. I mean, we get to sort of a set position here. I think all these moves, like, I mean, already when knight b4 is played, I think you have to go knight g4, because then, I mean, what even is the point of knight b4? So, I mean, it's all very, very concrete, and I think, I mean, again, I think all this happens, and this is probably the critical moment of the game. I mean, either white's much better, or black is completely fine. During the game, I thought I was probably better. I didn't see obvious moves here. For Alireza, but
how did it look for you? Did you assess it as fine for black, or?
Yeah, I mean, it's very concrete, so if it works, and if it doesn't, I lose. So. Yeah, I think rook e8 is the only move, of course.
I actually thought knight f6 maybe was possible. This is actually a move that I thought was perhaps
A3?
playable. Yeah, a3 and just go back and try to pretend that you're okay here, kind
knight
of.
a4?
Yeah, but knight a4, now you have knight e4 and bishop d6.
Ah, bishop d6.
Yeah, you have this bishop d6 trick, and I think
Okay.
you're okay here.
Yeah, I missed bishop.
Yeah, but I mean, still, it's still I think very unpleasant, because I can even go here on bishop g5, and it's still very, very hard, I think, for black to play. Everything's loose. I mean, yeah, basically either it's completely fine for black, or white's just much better. I think there's no in between, and only the computer knows. Yeah, I mean, probably I spent too much time somewhere around here on this knight b5 line, but basically, initially, I thought I could also play. Actually, no, I thought here I could go bishop d1, but after knight a6, I think black is actually completely fine here, because this knight f6, knight e4 is very, very fast.
Maybe I need to go rook e2 instead of d3, yeah?
Yeah, but rook e2, I still thought, I mean, this is... What,
knight d3?
Knight d3, yeah, so knight d3, and now I think, which one was I going
Take
to
on
play?
c5.
Well, I think I have a few options. Like, even queen d2, I think, is also very, very tricky. Takes and rook c1, and I still think it's very hard for black to play here. I mean, even this, I think, is very tricky. Like it
Maybe,
just, yeah, I mean, I think it feels like everything is bad here somehow. I thought d3 was good because at least it gets. I mean, it looks messy on first glance,
it becomes very messy somehow.
but also, I mean, the reason I didn't play this quicker is because I was spending a lot of time looking at this queen d7 move. This is the reason I didn't play this move in like 5 minutes. I mean, I used a lot more time, so I wasn't sure. I think it's probably good after rook g5, but.
Actually, according to the engine, this was the best try for black, and black should be fine after that. So basically,
black should be fine.
So after
Okay.
rook g5, basically just rook goes to d8.
Yeah, I mean, this is why I didn't play it quickly, but then I figured I have to go for this, because basically, like, in this position, I was spending all my time deciding, but the problem is after knight a6, I couldn't figure out where my advantage is. I didn't think I had an advantage, in fact. I mean, I'm probably not worse, but how to go, and I mean, looking at the other games, which were already getting very complicated, I thought, I mean, I have to try, especially when I didn't see like a reason that I'm losing here. Rook d8, I thought I could play. I think I just thought I could play knight d4 here.
Knight d4, because if h3, then take on f2, but some take, some crazy line.
I mean, some computer stuff,
some computer stuff like rook g7, the king h8, and then it becomes. I think you take on c7, and then it's crazy, absolutely. But it kind of everything clears out, and black is fine after that. Like,
but I mean, already rook g7 is hard. King h8 is even more insane.
Absolutely, very messy.
But I mean, I think but probably because in the game after I get knight e1, I think it's already close to winning for white here, basically.
But
I mean, there's this one moment.
Did you see this? Did you consider this queen d7?
Yeah, I thought knight d4, but.
Yeah, there's this one also.
I think after knight d4 also just rook d8, something like that.
No, the knight's hanging on d3.
I know,
so you mean takes and rook
takes,
d8,
something like that.
Yeah, actually, I think I consider this too, but I figured I'd just go like h3, knight f6, and at the very worst, bishop e3, and.
What I thought,
I mean.
Yeah, and white is doing.
No, there's probably worse stupid. There's some trick.
After bishop e3, knight d5, yeah.
No. What do you mean?
Rook d8.
Because you c5.
Yeah.
Maybe this is why. Yeah, I just figured somehow I can get the pawn, but maybe I can't. Maybe Probably, yeah, probably there's something concrete with some C5 or
C5.
knight D5, some combination, and black's okay. It makes sense, actually, but... Yeah, because, I mean, in the game, I think basically it's lost. All I have to do is find one important move, which I think is... Yeah, and it's unfortunate, of course, that knight E5 doesn't work,
Yeah,
because this...
knight c7.
Well, I mean, I think there are a couple ways, but even this is simple. Because after takes, king f2, it's very important that if you go here, I have bishop c3. This one. Or I mean, same thing. Even rook g1, same thing, that I just have bishop c3. And it's just winning. I mean, maybe knight... No, but knight c7... Wait, no, knight c7... Knight c7 also just works? But I thought here you have rook e7, actually.
Yeah, takes.
And it's still the same. It's a better version,
Yeah.
actually. Yeah, no, okay, fair enough, yeah. Yeah, so basically we get to this position, and then really, I mean, I think this is probably the one critical move I have to find, bishop b4, and I mean, now it should be pretty simple, but of course,
But
naturally I messed
somehow
it up.
even this
Yeah.
looks a bit messy, you know, because there are so many
No, but this should be
possibilities. Yeah.
this should be winning quite simply. But what did I do? Yeah, I played knight e3, which is already the first bad move. I mean, actually no. Here it still should be winning as long as I don't go bishop e1 right away.
Yeah, so bishop e1 was probably not the best.
No,
move.
like even
Go
rook,
for mate, no?
even rook c2, I
Or
think
rook
is okay.
c7 check and
Yeah, rook
Try,
c7 is
yeah.
just
C7?
mate, I think.
Rook c7, no, but king g8,
Yeah, knight e7.
knight e7, king h8.
I thought it...
or maybe just take pawn
Knight
on
f5.
a7.
Yeah, but yeah, actually even here this
No,
is
no,
fine.
knight f5 is mate.
Knight f5. Going for knight f4 like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably something like this. This should be working. No, I mean somehow I just lost my mind because I thought I was keeping the a pawn and I'm not keeping the a pawn basically. I mean this is just completely insane because yeah somehow here I just thought I just missed king f8. That was actually the problem. Like basically I just didn't realize that nothing works because the pawn on e2 and now I mean I think yeah somewhere around here I wasn't convinced that this is winning. If black plays which move? Like rook a2 maybe? I wasn't so sure about this one again.
Yeah, this I
Or
think
not
at this
rook a2,
point
sorry, what's
g5 was a big mistake for black.
Yeah,
rook
because
a2 was better,
because
better
the point is if I
try.
take now I don't get the pawn, right? I think here black saves the pawn, and now it's probably a draw. I mean, okay, I play
that-
on forever, but it's a draw if you don't lose the h pawn.
That was a better try, yes. After g5.
No, I think after g5 it's
yeah.
just winning again. I was very happy to see g5 because then I mean I think as long as I get this g4, technically somehow it has to be winning, and yeah, I mean I think the rest there's not much to say. I think it's just all kind of. I mean, I didn't have to go for this rook a8 even, but I thought it was one of the nicer ways just to win this position with this nice king e3 little tactic. And I mean, just to point out one line, just so people see it. I mean, basically the problem for black here is you can never get this position. So like if it's here, I go king d3 with knight c4, and if you get I don't know, say you get just like here, rook b5 after king d3, it's a zugzwang. Basically, you can't stop knight c4 and you can't stop bishop g5, and so the knight gets out and then it's winning. So. Yeah, but I mean, it's all of course quite nice here. So yeah, it was nice to win.
Well, after this game, after this round in general, we could have a situation when 3 players could be on top going into the last 2 rounds because Jan Nepomniachtchi played a draw today, and Gukesh has a very good position, and also Caruana has a very good position, so he would be, you know, just behind you. So with 2 rounds to go, we'll basically have 4 players, and you also play between each other, like many of you. So 4 players will be trying for first. And my question to you, Hikaru, is which factor do you think will be, if you could name one factor, that would be the decisive factor to win?
Yeah, I mean, if I had to say something, it's probably just experience. I think between Fabiano, myself, and Jan, we all have so much experience, and I mean, I think all 3 of us are used to the situation to some degree. Maybe, I mean, obviously, Canada's is different than, say, a Grand Chess Tour event, but still, I think we've all been in similar situations. So probably experience, if anything, but it's going to be exciting.
Yeah, and if somebody shares for first, there will be a tie break, so there will be no criteria, you know, but you have to decide over the board who will win the tournament. So who do you think of the 4 players that are now trying for first has the best chance on tie breaks?
Who knows? I mean, you play the game and you see what happens. I don't think anyone's a favorite.
All right, thank you for these answers. Do we have questions from the audience? I think, yeah, we have a question from Stefan.
Honestly, when I looked at the opening moves after Queen A4, I thought it looked more like a game of 1,500 players. So I don't have your chess culture really. Can you explain a little bit, at least, the thinking behind choosing such a line?
Well, I mean, it's what was in the file. So you play what's in the file. The people who you're working with give you the files, and you play what they suggest. So, yeah, I mean, I think it was an interesting move. I don't know if it was great, but it's actually I was kind of surprised that Jan. I mean, somehow in this tournament, I swear, I feel like he literally sees what I'm looking at before the games, because he's used like 3 different ideas. Like he played the exchange French today, like I did against Abasov. I mean, he played the same line, but he forgot to go c3. And then, I mean, I didn't say this before, but with only 1 round left to go, I think I can now say this since there's only 1 more white game. But also in the second round against FIDE, he played this Queen A2 idea, which I also had looked at. So. I mean, somehow it feels like Jan and I were playing the exact same things throughout the tournament, which is kind of weird to see. But you know, you just try to come up with some ideas and go from there.
Any more questions? And if not, then we thank you.